High above the abyss, two male Alpine Ibex clash in a breathtaking test of strength and survival. Their horns, great scythes of keratin grown over a lifetime of hardship, crash like thunder over the frozen cliffs. Each impact sends shockwaves not just through their powerful bodies, but through the very silence of the mountains. Below them, there is nothing but a 1,000-foot drop to oblivion. Here, one misstep means death. This gravity-defying battle is not just a fight for dominance. It's a testament to life lived on the razor's edge, where every heartbeat is a defiance against the coming grip of winter. But what drives these magnificent beasts to such a perilous contest? What law, older than stone, governs this kingdom in the clouds? Understand their struggle, you must first understand their world. The Alpine Ibex is a lord of the vertical world, a master of an impossible domain. They are creatures born into peril, taking their first trembling steps on ledges where even eagles fear to land. Their hooves are a marvel of natural engineering, deeply forked with sharp, grippy edges and soft, concave undersides that act like suction cups. This allows them to cling to near-vertical rock faces with a grace that defies physics. For the Ibex, a sheer cliff is not an obstacle, it is a fortress. It is where they find security from predators, a sanctuary in the heart of danger. From this high throne, they survey a world of staggering extremes. But they are not alone in this high-altitude haven. In the barren frost, where life seems an impossibility, there are silent architects at work. Look closer. In the cracks of the ancient rock, tiny, resilient beings cling to existence. Moss campion and rock jasmine, small but indomitable, form dense, cushion-like mats. This simple shape is a stroke of genius. It traps heat from the sun, conserves precious moisture, and creates a microclimate just warm enough to survive the brutal alpine winds. These humble plants are a quiet truth made manifest. That strength is not always found in might or size, but in the stubborn, unyielding will to endure and to bloom where no life should ever thrive. They are the foundation of a fragile ecosystem, a splash of defiant color against the gray indifference of stone and ice.
To get down the mountain, the only way is to follow these narrow ledges.
Winter descends upon the Alps not as a season, but as a monarch claiming its rightful throne. For half the year, a blanket of snow buries the landscape beneath a suffocating, silent white. This is the great filter, the sovereign of winter that strips life down to its absolute core. The air grows sharp enough to shatter steel, and the sun becomes a distant, indifferent eye in the sky. Survival is no longer a given. It is a prize to be earned through endurance, patience, and a perfect mastery of life's harshest rules. Every creature in this kingdom must now make a choice: flee, fight, or surrender to the cold. What would you do? When the world freezes around you and the silence becomes a physical weight, where do you find the strength to go on? For some, the answer lies not in resistance, but in retreat. Deep beneath the frozen earth in burrows lined with hay, the Alpine marmots embrace the profound wisdom of stillness. They are the great sleepers, the masters of conservation. As the first snows fall, they seal the entrances to their colonies with a mixture of earth and feces and begin one of nature's most miraculous processes, deep hibernation. Their body temperature plummets to just above freezing. Their breathing slows to a mere 1 to 3 breaths per minute. Their hearts, which beat with frantic energy in the summer sun, slow to an almost imperceptible 5 beats per minute. They are as close to death as a living thing can be. Inside these dark, silent chambers, family bonds become the ultimate currency of survival. Huddled together, sometimes in groups of up to 20, they share their warmth, a passive exchange of heat that is especially crucial for the survival of the young. They are a quiet defiance against the raging storm above, a perfect example that sometimes survival doesn't mean fighting the blizzard, but surrendering to stillness until it passes. For nearly 200 days, they will sleep, living off the fat reserves they diligently built during the short summer, dreaming of the sun. But while the marmots sleep, others must face the winter head-on. For in the frozen silence, the hunt is everything. And there are no greater masters of the winter hunt than the wolves of the Alps. They move through the deep snow like ghosts, their paws wide to distribute their weight, their thick coats impervious to the cold. A wolf pack is the embodiment of strategy and unity. They travel in single file through the deep drifts to conserve energy, the alpha pair often leading the way to break the trail. Their hunt is a calculated dance of endurance and precision. They are not creatures of blind cruelty. They are nature's architects of balance.
In its state of deep hibernation, its heart beats only 5 times a minute.
Watch. They flow over the landscape, testing herds of chamois and red deer, their intelligent eyes constantly scanning for a sign of weakness. A slight limp, a moment of hesitation, the frailty of old age. Winter is their ally. The deep snow that exhausts the prey is a road map for the wolf. Their teamwork is flawless, a symphony of unspoken commands as they maneuver their chosen target, cutting it off from the herd, driving it into terrain where its strength will fail. Their purpose is singular, their execution relentless. This is not a battle of good versus evil. It is a fundamental law of the mountains. The strength of the living is sculpted by the fall of the frail. But what happens when the pack is gone? What happens when the strength of unity is stripped away, and a hunter must face the brutal calculus of winter alone? Here, a lone she-wolf embodies the most powerful instinct of all, a mother's fight for survival. Perhaps she dispersed from her birth pack to find a mate, or perhaps tragedy left her as the sole provider. Hidden away in a snowbound den, her cubs are waiting, their survival tethered completely to her success. She is a shadow in the twilight, a huntress of profound silence and desperate courage. Every scent on the wind is a risk, every track in the snow a gamble. Without the pack to aid her, a large red deer is too formidable. She must be smarter, more patient. She hunts with a precision born of necessity, targeting smaller prey, taking greater risks, pushing her body to the absolute limit. Each kill, no matter how small, is a monumental triumph against starvation. Each night she returns, weary and cold, to the warmth of her hidden den, her presence a promise of life for another day. Her solitary struggle is a testament to resilience, a living symbol of a strength that is forged not in the company of others, but in the crucible of love and solitude. Her fight reminds us that the instinct to protect our own can turn even the most vulnerable into the most formidable of survivors.
In the harsh grip of winter,
Yet,
the alpha she-wolf moves like a shadow across the Alpine.
Even in this world defined by individual struggle, the Alps teach another, more profound lesson. Amid the brutal scarcity of winter, cooperation becomes the ultimate form of salvation. Look to the skis. Mixed flocks of alpine birds, finches, and tits forage together. Each species has a unique skill. One is better at breaking open tough seeds, another at probing deep into bark for insects. Together, they form a collective of specialists, increasing everyone's chances of finding a meal. What one bird misses, another will find. It is a simple, elegant alliance against the cold. But the most remarkable partnership is one that spans the divide between animal and plant, a pact written into the very fabric of the high forests. The whitebark pine, a rugged tree that clings to the high slopes, produces large, nutritious seeds. But its cones do not open on their own. It needs a partner. That partner is the Clark's nutcracker. This intelligent bird is one of the only species capable of prying the tough cones open. It then gathers the seeds in a special pouch under its tongue and flies off to bury them in caches for the winter. A single nutcracker can cache tens of thousands of seeds in a single season. And here is the beautiful genius of their bond. The bird is so smart, it remembers the location of almost all its caches. But it's the few it forgets, the 1 or 2% it misses, that are the future of the forest. Those forgotten seeds germinate, giving birth to the next generation of whitebark pines. The bird feeds its family, and in doing so, it plants the very forest that will feed its descendants. It is a perfect, self-sustaining cycle of mutualism. A powerful reminder that in this frozen world, unity can replace competition as the highest and most enduring form of strength. And then, after months of suffocating silence, a whisper of change rides on the warming wind. The thaw has begun. Spring announces its arrival not with a gentle touch, but with a roar. Streams, choked with ice for half a year, burst their frozen dams and thunder down the mountainsides. The sound of life returns to a landscape long held in silence. From the muddy depths of thawing ponds, frogs rise as if from the dead, their chorus of croaks a primal song of renewal. High above, the great sleepers awaken. The marmots emerge from their burrows, blinking in the bright sun, their bodies lean but their family bonds strong. Mating season begins almost immediately after hibernation, a frantic rush to ensure the next generation has the best possible chance to grow strong before winter's inevitable return. And on the highest cliffs, the cycle of life takes its most daring form. Ibex mothers who navigated the treacherous winter while pregnant now lead their newborn kids into the sunlit heights. Just hours after birth, these young ibex are already learning to climb, their innate skill a critical key to their survival. Every heartbeat, every croak, every trembling first step of new life becomes a hymn to rebirth, a celebration of endurance rewarded. As the warmth fully returns and the valleys turn green, the nature of survival transforms once more. The fight against the elements is replaced by the age-old tournament of life, the competition for the right to pass on one's genes. The season of challenge has begun. Across the Alpine meadows, the air resounds with the primal calls and thunderous clashes of nature's titans. Red deer stags, their magnificent antlers now fully grown, engage in spectacular duels. They roar to challenge rivals, their deep calls echoing through the woods, advertising their size and strength. They lock antlers, pushing and shoving in a raw display of power that can sometimes lead to serious injury or even death. This is not a fight born of anger, but of instinct, a fierce competition where only the strongest and healthiest will earn the right to mate and ensure the vitality of the herd. Higher up, the Ibex renew their ancient rivalries. Having established a dominance hierarchy through their winter battles, they now engage in contests to win the favor of the females. The crash of horns once again echoes from the cliffs, a primal celebration of life's continuity. Yet beneath all this sound and fury lies a deep and ancient wisdom. These animals know instinctively when to fight, when to display, and crucially, when to yield. Energy is a precious commodity, and conserving it for the challenges that lie ahead is the mark of a true survivor. In this grand, eternal rhythm of the Alps, even death is not an ending. It is merely a transformation, a vital part of the cycle of renewal. Nothing here is ever wasted. When an ibex falls from a cliff, or a red deer succumbs to injury after a duel, the scavengers arrive to restore balance. The lammergeier, or bearded vulture, is the master of this domain. It is an extraordinary scavenger that feeds almost exclusively on bone. With its incredible 9-foot wingspan, it soars above the peaks, scanning for a carcass. Once it finds one, it will carry the larger bones high into the air and drop them onto specific rocky slopes, shattering them to get at the nutritious marrow inside. Its stomach acid is so powerful it can dissolve bone shards into sludge. The lammergeier is nature's ultimate recycler, turning loss into nourishment. Foxes and eagles also play their part, ensuring that every last remnant of life is returned to the system. An ending for one creature becomes a beginning for another. In this, the Alps reveal their true nature. They are both a crucible that tests life to its breaking point, and a sanctuary that nurtures it in perfect, intricate balance. Decay itself becomes the very seed of life renewed.
In the harsh alpine environment, the magnificent bearded vulture descends to claim its prize.
These are not just stories of animals in a faraway land. They are reflections of our own lives. We all face our own winters, our own cliffs, our own struggles for survival and dominance. The Alps stand as silent mentors of existence, teaching us that a life of meaning is not found through brute force, but through adaptation, cooperation, and an unwavering will to not just survive, but to thrive.
In the high mountains of Asia and Europe, a unique bird of prey reigns supreme.
Thank you for joining us on this incredible journey into the heart of the Alps. We hope this story has inspired you and given you a new appreciation for the profound wisdom of the wild. We wish you all good health, resilience in your struggles, and unity in your community. If you enjoyed this journey and want to explore more of the wonders of our natural world, please consider subscribing to our channel. Your support allows us to continue bringing these vital stories to you. Until next time.